You're watching Our City News on FATV.
Local elections are heating up as candidates debate the issues. A Lunenburg teen denied a trophy by the MIAA. And trick-or-treat is just around the corner. I'm Stephanie Allison. All this and lots more coming up next on Our City News.
And now, the latest news, sports, and weather with Stephanie Allison and the entire Our City News team.
A growing controversy between one high school golfer from Lunenburg and the MIAA is getting recognition on a national scale. Emily Nash placed first in the Central Mass Division III Boys Golf Tournament last week, but will not be recognized as the winner because she's a girl. The MIAA has a rule against girls playing as individuals in boys' competitions. This leaves Nash ineligible from winning the tournament, even though she won by 4 strokes playing from the men's tees. The MIAA congratulated her in a statement, but said that she would have to wait until spring to move on in individual competitions. This has created some outrage in the sports community, with the PGA, ESPN, and even some LPGA golfers all in support of Emily and her moving forward in the tournament. Our City News has made attempts to contact the MIAA, but has heard no response at this time. The Leominster mayoral race heats up as candidates trade statements in a potential scandal. Write-in candidate Kenny Ricker claims the current mayor, Dean Mazzarella, made under-the-table deals to deny him from getting rehired at Samoset Middle School. The Sentinel and Enterprise reported these statements as Mazzarella calls Ricker's statement malicious slander and denied that he had any involvement in the decision of getting Ricker rehired. Ricker claims the superintendent, Jim Jolliker, offered him the job but would run it by the mayor and was surprised when the offer was pulled away. This comes a few short weeks before the election and opens up many new questions for the citizens of Leominster. In an effort to clean up the city, the Fitchburg Police Department has 2 new kiosks where citizens can drop off prescription medicine and hypodermic needles, 24/7 free of charge at the police station, 20 Elm Street. There are 2 other locations, Community Health Connections in Fitchburg, 326 Nichols Road, and Fitchburg Westminster Sanitary Landfill at 101 Fitchburg Road on Route 31.
And according to the Sentinel and Enterprise, a city man was seriously injured in a motorcycle crash on Main Street early Tuesday morning, according to Fitchburg Police. The 25-year-old man, according to Police Captain Harry Hess, was seen by officers about midnight traveling at a high rate of speed northbound on Water Street. Minutes later, an officer patrolling on Main Street discovered the crashed Yamaha motorcycle and the victim unconscious lying in the street about 12:15 a.m. Hess said it appeared the man lost control of the motorcycle before crashing into one of the concrete flower boxes along Main Street. The victim was transported to UMass Memorial Medical Center in Worcester for treatment. During the transport, said Hess, the man became combative and hit one of the EMTs providing care. He suffered a broken wrist and injured both his legs and was in serious but stable condition. This department's crash reconstruction team is investigating that crash, Hess said.
We'll be right back with more from Our City News on FATV.
And welcome to another Our City Interviews. With me tonight, Emily Hutchinson and Dan Bartlett, dad of Hillary Bartlett Newsom. We're doing some things very, very soon with the foundation. Dan, good to see you tonight. Emily, great to have you along. So just, if you can, give us the in-depth, so to speak, of Hillary's run through working with autistic children and the wonderful things that we've got ahead in tribute of Hillary.
Hillary graduated from Leominster High School. She went on, she got her teaching degree from Fitchburg State University. From that point, she got into early childhood education, focusing on autism. She first worked here locally in Fitchburg. Soon after she married, she moved down to North Carolina with her husband, who was a U.S. Marine. Down there, she worked in the school systems and a couple of private preschools, if you will, teaching autistic children, where she had to create a lesson plan, just like most teachers do in a regular school. But she really loved the challenges of teaching autistic children. She, when she passed away this past March, we were devastated, of course, to the point where it was hard to get up in the morning and even want to move on. So I had the thought process of how can we continue her work? How am I going to survive without her? Came up with the idea of the foundation. I approached my wife and my son about the idea. A few of her very close friends, which Emily was probably one of her dearest friends, and everybody thought it was a great thing. But we knew it was going to be a lot of work to get this off the ground. But in order to carry on her work, we had to do something. So we formed the Hillary Newsom Bartlett Foundation. We're going to be doing a certain amount of fundraisers per year. We're not going to get redundant, but we want to be active. We want to be able to give back to the community in other areas as well. But one of Hillary's loves of life was Camp Sunshine up in Casco, Maine on Sebago Lake. Camp Sunshine is a retreat for children with life-threatening illnesses and their families, whereas the families can go to Camp Sunshine at no charge to them, where they can just get away from their troubles for a week or whatever set period of time, to just relax, unwind. They can swim in the lake, do crafts. There's certain reading groups. There's just so much activity for the kids to do, to get away from, like I said, their troubles, let the family unwind, because they all know in the end what the end result's going to be. But it's just a big relief. Hillary first went there, it was either her freshman or sophomore year in high school, for a week as a counselor, and she was just awestruck at what the camp does for all these children and families. So that's when she came back and she started really thinking about what she wanted to do in her professional life after high school. So lo and behold, she chose early childhood education with a focus on autism.
Emily, this has to be something special to be able to sort of celebrate Hillary's life and continue her work forward, as Dad has said. Tell us a little bit how you see the future moving this ahead with the foundation.
We've been saying for a while now we're headed straight to Hollywood. We are going to work day in and day out until we feel that we've met and fulfilled Hillary's legacy. Yeah.
So there are goals ahead, and of course, exactly how are you going to move those goals forward?
We have a lot of great ideas. We have 12 members on our board of directors, aside of the executive team. And I don't want to sound like we're this big entity, but these are all the things that we're required by the government to be able to set up and establish as. But we have a lot of targeted goals that we want to try to achieve. One of the things is we set our goal for this year to raise, in our first year, raise $50,000. And we're well underway to that goal, but we are shy of it. So that's why we're having our first fundraiser. One of the first things I said to the group as we got everybody together for our first informal session was, I don't want to have so many fundraisers every year that the general public or so forth gets tired of hearing about us.
Sure.
Because it does grow old, and I don't want to be out there like we're greedy. So I'm reaching out to a lot of the corporate entities that I do business with in my own business to see if they will become a yearly sponsor for us. We can count on their donations each year. And the other thing that I said to the board was, I want this to be everlasting. Even after my dying day, I want who's ever left on the board to carry this forward.
Sure.
So I kind of put that burden on my son.
Yeah. So, Emily, as secretary, you get to organize and put a lot of this stuff together so that there is a plan ahead.
Yes, absolutely.
Some of the things we're not ready to address and announce out there yet because it's in that early stages, and I don't want to put the cart out in front of the horse yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is obviously moving forward in a wonderful tribute, and of course your passion and compassion for those who give forward and trying to keep this very sustainable. And you do have contacts. You're a successful business person from the Lancaster area yourself, and And there's something special about what can happen next.
There is. The way I look at it, it is going to be an uphill climb, but it's going to be a very fast charging uphill climb. What we have accomplished since we started this thought process and came about with it, like I said, the week after she passed away, but to formally get set up and achieve what we've done in this first 5-6 months has been incredible. For example, the lady that designed our website for us, I don't know if it's proper to mention the name or so forth. It's Creative Design in Leominster on Mill Street. Kelly has just been a wonderful tribute throughout this whole thing to us. Emily and I first met with her, I told her that I wanted to release the website on August 23rd. And she kind of raised her eyebrows and said, to create a whole website in terms of what we've been talking about, we'd talked for 40 minutes by then. She said, is sometimes 7 to 9, 10 months. And I said, I understand that, but I'm not here for excuses, I'm here for results. So she asked me why August 23rd, and I said, it's Hillary's birthday, and I want to launch the website live as a tribute to her on her birthday.
Very nice.
And we met that goal.
So tell us a little bit about the website so that our folks can hear about that.
I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
You're the techno guru of the group.
Sure.
The website is www.hillaryschucks.com. We have an online store. We have a blog. We post all our upcoming events. We have a Meet the Board portion where you can meet us. And that's about it.
Mm-hmm. There's a section on there, a letter from Dukes. Hillary and my son nicknamed me years ago Papa Dukes. Mm-hmm. I think it kind of came from the old show Dukes of Hazzard. Even at Hillary's wedding, I was dressed in a total white tuxedo. They were calling me Mr. Clean and Boss Hog and so forth. So there's a letter on there, and I encourage everybody to read that letter. It's a letter that I kind of wrote the day after she died. Mm-hmm. It was something how I had to deal with. But we also have on there our mission and vision statement, what the foundation is all about, and there's a good background on there about Hillary.
Right. And last, tell us a little bit about Hillary Chucks for the folks that aren't quite up to speed on that, maybe.
Hillary's Chucks started because years and years ago, Hillary and I plunged for Camp Sunshine in their fundraiser called Freezing for a Reason. And when she passed, one of the things I wanted to do was continue to plunge. And so we named our team Hillary's Chucks, and now it's become sort of the nickname for the whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah. And the Chucks, the Chucks part of it is she was a fanatic with
Chuck Taylor
sneakers. Yeah. She probably had more of a collection than the Converse, the manufacturer themselves.
Sure. HillaryChucks.com is the website. The president is Dan Bartlett. The secretary is Emily Hutchinson. And it's all about Hillary Bartlett Newsom. Here on Our City Interviews, stay with us.
It's football season, and this is the last home game until Thanksgiving. Our very own Glenn Fossa has more.
In FHS football, we needed that one, said head coach Tom DiGeronimo. They had one returned against us recently, so it was good to have one go in our favor from that last game. The win lifts the Red and Gray to 3-4 in the season, and Fitchburg will return to the corner of Circle and Broad Street for the regular season finale, a must-win against Worcester South tonight at FHS's Crocker Field. They need to return to the postseason for the first time in 3 seasons. First-year Red Raiders head coach and Fitchburg Hall of Famer Tom DiGeronimo was relieved with the victory, saying, "We eliminated mistakes and we did what we were supposed to do," and praised the job of everyone on the team.
It's almost time for Trick or Treat right here in Fitchburg, Mass., and Glenn Fossa has all the details.
And ghouls and goblins, Return for our official trick-or-treating hours in Fitchburg right here on Tuesday, October 31st from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. In additional events, Saturday, October 28th from 12 to 2, come to Fitchburg's Main Street for Fitchburg Trick-or-Treat right on Main Street. Sunday, October 29th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. will be Howl-O-Ween, a pet costume parade walk at Coolidge Park. Join us.
As election season continues, our City News reporter Callie Foster sat down with current Mayor Steve DiNatale and candidate Alexander Vera to find out where both candidates stand in this election.
Hi, I'm Callie Foster. With me today is Mayor Stephen DiNatale. He's up for re-election, so I just have a couple questions for him today. First of all, Mayor, you've had 2 very good years in office. Is there anything that you're most proud of?
First of all, let me thank FATV for producing some of the best viewing for our citizens of the city of Fitchburg and surrounding communities as well. For having this, the opportunity to speak to some of the folks in Fitchburg and let them know some of the good things that have happened in the city over the last 2 years. And you're absolutely right. Something that Tally, I can't confine it to one specific, effort on our part. It's been a multi-pronged approach to some of the successes we've had. What I point to is we've had more than a modest increase in commercial growth in the city.
Hi, I'm Callie Foster, back with our City News special, and with me now I have Alexander Vera, who is running for the challenger running for mayor. We're in the beautiful historic Coggeshall Park, and I just have a couple questions for Alex today. So, what got you into politics?
What got me into politics? There's a funny story behind that, actually. So, as you may know, I went to Monty Tech, and so my senior year at Monty Tech, I actually was, involved a lot with the theater program and acting, and so I thought I was going to be an actor. But then I asked myself a question, and I was like, the question was, if I was living a great life, how could my life get any better? And I was going around asking people that, and no one seemed to come up with an answer. People were just saying, you know what, if you're already living a great life, your life can't get any better. But I didn't want to take that as the final answer, so, I thought about it some more, and I realized that my life could get better if everyone else around me was also living a good life. So that's kind of what, opened my eyes into being a public servant and actually helping out the community.
You can watch the full interview with Mayor DiNatale and candidate Alexander Vera at fatv.org. The 3 Democratic candidates for state Senate also debated at Fitchburg State University this past Wednesday. The debate was sponsored by the Sentinel and Enterprise and moderated by Charles St. Amand, editor of the newspaper. You can watch the entire debate at fatv.org and also on our government channel. This week on FATV, Wednesday at 7 p.m., Inside Fitchburg with guests from Fitchburg Hall of Fame. Thursday, 7:30 p.m., Stratton Players First Reading. Saturday at 12 p.m., Fitchburg State University football. And Tuesday, November 7th at 7 p.m., live election coverage. Kelly Johnson got a chance to stop by Caring for Kids to find out more how this great organization is helping to feed more than 100 school children in need.
Kelly Johnson here with Our City News. Here today with Caring for Kids, a great group of volunteers who every week come together to package meals for local kids in need. You see behind me the assembly line where each of our dedicated volunteers come together every Wednesday here at 6 o'clock to gather the food items that we've collected, put them together bit by bit, so that way 218 children in Fitchburg elementary schools can have something to take home with them over the weekend when maybe they don't have the ability to have breakfast or lunch at their schools. Caring for Kids is a local nonprofit who has been in production for about 5 years now. Kira Andriusi is a local high school student who in fifth grade, thought she didn't understand why these kids were taking extra foods home with them at the end of the day. So her and her father got together and talked about childhood hunger and how it affects the kids in our neighborhoods. And here we see it's a great production line, and people get really excited to help us out every week. And again, 218 kids being affected just by a good group of volunteers. More to come as we continue with Caring for Kids. Here I am with Kira Andriusi, who is behind this whole project that we talked about today. Kira, I see that we're getting meals ready for these kids to take home, but tell me what else the kids look forward to every year and what kind of efforts you're going to be putting forward.
Well, around the Christmas time, we send out sealed envelopes to the parents, and the parents signed it and asked the kids what they would like for Christmas. And they also asked some clothes and some shoes if they like, and then they sent it back to us, and we asked anybody if they would like to help the kids out and buy the kids clothes or toys.
So parents go ahead and they let them know what kind of needs the kids have. You know, maybe these families, just that one extra toy or that sweatshirt that the kid really might want. So that's really great. And families in the community take a child and they go ahead and they sponsor them and they buy for them. What kind of information do you get back? Like, do you get excitement from the kids? Do you get thank you letters?
Sometimes we get thank you letters from the kids themselves. They make the cards, and it's so adorable. We keep all the cards in an area, and it's just a really good feeling. I love looking through those cards all the time.
And how long have you been doing this program now?
This will be our 7th year.
7 years. That's a lot of kids that you affect. So thank you for being the champion behind this. And as always, we love local organizations like Caring for Kids and what Kira Andriusi has come together and brought volunteers together to do. So look out for Caring for Kids in the community and support any way you can. I'm Kelly Johnson with Our City News.
Thanks for watching this episode of Our City News. I'm Stephanie Allison, and this episode is brought to you by KCMC Management, our local Dunkin' Donuts. If you have a story you'd like us to share, email us at ourcitynewsfitchburg@gmail.com. From all of us here at Our City News and FATV, have a wonderful day.
You're watching Our City News on FATV.